Alvarez here from Fawn with a video for Simon Says Stamp, and today we're going to be making a sloth-themed encouragement card. We're going to be using the sloth from Hang In There and the sloth from Slow Down and Enjoy, and also one of my favorite basic stamp sets ever, and that is BANNERTASTIC. So there's those cute little sloths there. I'm going to stamp out my banner and also some leaves from Hang In There. Next, we're going to be using some Copic markers to add some color to these really cute images. And you'll see there that I laid down my lightest color, then I'm going to lay down my darkest in the areas that I want to kind of appear shaded or darker, and then I'm going to blend it out with my light marker. And I love that it was really simple with 2 markers, but it looks really, really pretty and really cool. Now for the sloth, I'm going to be kind of using kind of a weird blend of markers here, and that's because I don't have that many light browns, but I really wanted him to be a light brown color. So I'm blending some colors that technically aren't supposed to blend, but I think they ended up looking really nice together. So there you can see I laid down my dark marker, and then I'm blending it out with my medium, and then going into my light. And so I really just love how he's looking. I'm kind of leaving some of the streaks in there, so he still looks kind of like a little fuzzy sloth. And then I'm going to repeat the same idea with that cute little standing up guy. So there I've got my dark and then my medium and then out into my light, and I think he is just looking adorable. Next, for his eye area, since I had used an E30 marker, I thought for the eye area I would stick to the E30. So I'm using E37 and E35 to give that area just a little bit of a darker look. Now next you're going to notice that I colored one of those banners already, and I wasn't too happy with how it looked. I thought the blue was way too dark. I really wanted it to be a very light blue that blended out into nothing. So for my second try, I decided to leave that B00 marker out of it and focus on my lightest colors, and then really use that colorless blender a lot to really blend that color out. Then at the very end, I took that B00 and just put it right where the banner kind of overlaps for that part of the shadow, and I really like how my second turn at it turned out. Now I want my sentiment to be curved to the same curve as my banner, so I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to use the back part of my stamp set there and lay that over my stamped image. Then I'm going to take my stamp and kind of curve it while it's stuck to that little piece of plastic there. So that's going to help me curve it in the exact right shape. Then once I kind of have it going exactly how I want it, I can then pick up that stamp with my block, and it's going to stay in that curved shape. And so it's a really easy way for me to curve my stamps to match. Then now I can go ahead and stamp it, and you'll see just how cute that little hang in there looks. I'm using the coordinating dies from these sets, and I'm lining them up with my stamped images, holding in place with some low-tack tape. I'm going to run it through my die cut machine and then have these awesome die cut images all ready to put on my card. Next, I'm going to be working with the quilted backdrop, which is one of my favorite backdrop dies, and I'm going to die cut that from some white cardstock. Then I'm going to look through my knock-on wood paper and pick one of these papers to go along with my sloths. Once I have the right one, I'm going to die cut that with a 4-bar stitched rectangle. Then here I'm taking out some Lawn Fawn dough ink, and I'm going to use my ink blending tool. I'm going to tap it into the ink, tap it off, and then go onto the side because I want to make sure it's a really light coverage just to give that paper just a little bit of extra interest. So I'm starting off of the paper and then going on, and you'll see that it's really subtle, but it really just adds a lot to that pattern paper. I'm going to trim another piece of that same knock-on wood paper to 5.5 by 4.25, and that's going to be layered behind my quilted backdrop die. So I'm using my glue tube to add glue into all of those spaces on the quilted backdrop die, and then I'm going to lay that over my knock-on wood paper. And what's really cool about this is then that brown color is going to show through, and I just think it looks so pretty. I'm also going to create a standard size card base that's going to be 5.5 by 4.25, so I'm going to score that and fold that, and then I can add my cute little quilted backdrop onto that. I'm also going to add some foam dots to the back of that piece that we did some ink blending on earlier, and then layer that onto my card base. Now next I'm going to take out my mini picture frame die here, and I'm going to be die cutting that from some paper bag cardstock, and I'm going to die cut 2 of them. I'm also going to choose a blue gingham paper from the Gotta Have Gingham 6x6 pad, and that's going to kind of be layered behind these 2. So I wanted to have one of these little picture frames be taller, so we're going to fake it, and you're going to see how that works out. So what I'm going to do is add a little tape runner there to the bottom half of that frame, and I'm going to layer the 2 frames on top of each other. Then I'm going to take my piece of Gotta Have Gingham pattern paper and I'm going to layer this piece on top, and I'm just going to make 2 little tick marks so that I know where to trim this paper so that it's going to fit perfectly behind that frame. Then we're going to add some foam tape to the back of that frame and layer it on top of the gingham piece. Now today I'm recreating this gorgeous card by Elena, so thank you so much, Elena, for letting me recreate your awesome card in the video. So now I want to show you how we're going to cover up the fact that we layered 2 little picture frames on top of each other. So once we put that sloth on top, you actually can't see where they overlap and it looks like one big giant frame. Now the die for the sloth from Slow Down and Enjoy creates this cute little tab where you can hook them onto things, so we're going to be able to hook him right onto the branch that the other sloth is on. I'm also going to take my white gel pen and just add a couple little accent lines around the sloth and the little leaves. I added some adhesive to the back of the sloth, and then I'm just going to layer those leaves on to the little tree branch that he's hanging from, and I'm also going to layer one of the leaves onto the banner as well. And I really like that pop of green with all these kind of blues and browns that we've been looking at. Now we need to layer our pieces onto the frame. So I'm going to add some tape runner to that hang in there banner, and then I'll add some foam tape and a mixture of tape runner to my 2 sloths, and we'll layer that over the kind of the junction of those 2 little frames there, and I think it's looking so cute. Then once we have all of that done, we can add some tape runner to the back of this whole scene and then layer that onto the card base that we worked on earlier. And it's just looking so cute. Now I wanted to stamp something on the inside to go along with the hang in there. So I'm going to stamp the You've Got This that's also from Slow Down and Enjoy. And so I'm going to stamp that right in the center. So I love that there's kind of the surprise of the sentiment on the inside. And I love that this is a cute and sweet encouragement card. So you could send it to someone. It would make them smile and make them really feel better and feel like that things are just going to be okay. So I just love creating cute things like this to make someone smile. So if you guys create an encouragement card, please share them with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!